Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the number one collaborative professional wrestling podcast anywhere on the planet. Episode 51. It's crazy right now. 51. We're 1 week short of a year. That celebration will be next week. But as for this week, this moment, this time, this second, we want to welcome you to Clash of the Podcast. My name is Sean Hubbard, representing Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. My man to my immediate left is the one and only Conrad Cushman, representing Everything Pro Wrestling. And once again, collectively, as he shows up the guns, this is Clash of the Podcast. We're certainly happy to be with you on tonight. We already got people in the chat we'll have to give some shout outs to. But before we do that, we got to do this. Conrad, drop that thing.
Wrestling community, welcome everyone. Much appreciate all of you guys for joining us here for Clash of the Podcast. Happy to be here with y'all. Sean said it, man. 51 in a row.
In a row. Yes.
In a row. So, have some mercy on us. All right, we've been doing this for a minute. Think about all the stuff that we have covered, and we'll probably get more into this last week, but we've covered the reign of Triple H. We thought Vince was gone. You even had the precursor, the test show for this show with our Vince McMahon comments. That one was actually a huge show for us.
Yep.
And all of that mess. And guess what? A year later, none of it means nothing because it was all a game. What do you know? But good content for content creators like us. Welcome everybody who is in here. We're going to give you guys your shout outs. We're going to get into some Impact and New Japan to kick things off on the show. I'm going to give a quick recap of Multiverse 2 United, for whom the bell tolls. But first, Sir Quills, always the first one. He is not being beaten on Mondays.
Quilly.
I just came up with that. Quilly. He says, what up, Conrad and Sean? Chat, it is Sir Quills, back for my favorite part of my Monday evening. Of course, I'm talking about yet another fire episode of Clash of the Podcast. Episode 51. Let's get into it. Appreciate it.
Sir Quilly. I just came up with that, Quilly.
Joel, welcome. He said, what is up, everyone? What is up, Joel? Hope things are well, my friend.
Appreciate you, man.
Ray Thompson. He says, can't wait for the first week of September. The GOAT returns on SmackDown. We have Payback on Saturday. That's not counter booking. And All Out on Sunday. Plus college football is back. All right, that's one plus.
Football is back on the 26th. They're doing. I don't remember it being this early. I'm excited.
Who's your college team?
Weird, bro. It's weird. God rest his soul. My Uncle Brian, I love you. For whatever reason, he raised me up as a Notre Dame fan. I've wanted to stray away from that my whole life, but I love the green and gold.
I've got a friend who went there, full ride too. Smart person.
Nice.
Big shout out to the homie for that. I don't think he even listens or watches wrestling, or at least anymore, But full ride scholarship, happy for him. And my uncle's a big Notre Dame fan. I think they have a school somewhere in New York where my fam was from, and they always had like that logo and everything else. So that's his favorite college team. So I can relate, man. I can relate to that.
It's like it's a fandom that I'm very ashamed of, but I can't shake it. It's like a bad cold. It's like you ever have a cold and it's mostly gone, but you still have a little sniffle.
So it's like a guilty pleasure. That's what.
Yeah, I can't stand it, but I live and die with that team every year.
I respect it. Guy Will Gamble says, "Yerp, what's good, everybody? Find people that love you like Quebec loves Edge."
Gamble gave me some nuggets, some great nuggets this week on Instagram.
Me and Gamble were laughing on Instagram. Also, who has more moves in their arsenal named after them than Edge does?
Education, Edgematic.
Edgematic.
Yeah.
And the downward spiral. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, he's got a lot. I was kidding. I gotta have one joke once in a while.
That was good.
Noob & Co. Hello everyone. How are you doing?
Welcome.
Doing well. Vinny in the house. I always want to do the Shane McMahon for him, but it's Vinny. What's up, guys? Hope y'all are doing great. God bless as always.
God bless you, man. God bless you.
McKinney says, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling with the greatest duo in wrestling podcast and the Fire live chat. Just wanted to ask, what's a gift? A horse, and why? Because I look it in the mouth. Let's go. Did I say that wrong? Just want to ask, what's a gift horse?
What's a gift horse? Why? Because I look it in the mouth.
Mouth with an F, too.
With an F. Yo.
XG being silly in the chat, too. I see you.
Shout out to McKinney. More than just little wrestling stuff in the IG for him. Very, very encouraging. On a life level. Very encouraging. Thank you, McKinney.
I feel like we get different stuff on Instagram, man, because me and McKinney be laughing too. There's jokes all day.
You know what? God makes no mistakes. For some reason, McKinney gives me nuggets. Gives me life nuggets. And I'm very appreciative.
Okay. I
And
can't even do the man justice.
Easy, faux, cheesy in the building.
Matt Lopez always gives us a weekend shout out on Fridays. It's one of the things I look forward to. He says, hello, good evening, everyone. Excited for the best podcast to kick off this historic week. Man, historic. I'm about to be done. This is the kickoff to Conrad is about to get cooked. I'm about to be on this microphone more than anything for the next 2 weeks.
That's what
yes, man. I'm happy to do it.
So I can't have jokes now? Is that what's happening? I can't have jokes?
Oh, there's only one funny man here. We got to decide who's funny man.
It ain't me, because I have no sense of humor. You know what
Oh, y'all know how it is, man. Original Biggie says, good evening, EPW. Good evening, Sean. Good evening, chat. Let's get it. What up, Original Biggie?
God bless you, man. Welcome. Jocelyn.
Woo, new job, new hours, but make sure to wake up for Clash of the Podcast. Jocelyn, that's what I like to hear. If I was right there, I'd be like, up top. Wow, that's a high five right there.
Fun fact, I am not ashamed to say that I'm still trying to grow my audience, and I appreciate all you guys that cross over to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. August 31st, by the way, Thursday night. Make sure you check in. Jocelyn, my last live feed, first one in, last one to leave. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Fine, y'all. He gonna be saying that when he got 1 million too. Don't believe people when that happens.
Mouth to God's ears, brother.
Original Biggie says that's right. It was a game. Whose goat is that? Yeah. That John Cena stuff. That John Cena talk crazy. Yo, Original Biggie, you a fool. Next weekend is Payback and All Out crazy. Oh, someone said West Virginia. Yeah, that's a party school. I knew a couple people who got to go to that school too, but they said that they just partied all the time. So if you ever hear your kids saying they're going there, rip up that application. It's a waste of money.
Facts.
I'm gonna leave that all. I'm just gonna, maybe you couldn't get out, maybe there was a typo. I'm just gonna assume that's what it was. I forgot Payback's on September 2nd. Matt, you know why?
Well,
you know why? Because they haven't announced any matches. The same thing people got on AEW for, but I don't hear it for Payback. Counter booking. I'm just saying. It's not a big deal on either side to me, but I'm just saying, if you keep that same energy, if you were talking that stuff before,
touché.
All I'm saying.
Touché.
Playing Penn State on the 2nd, so we won't be watching Payback live. Okay. Big college football fan.
I respect it. I would watch my team over watching Payback, but Notre Dame plays at 2:30 in the afternoon.
You know what? I love wrestling too much maybe it's because I'm from Buffalo and I've just been let down so many times by these teams and everything else that's happening. I don't know. Ain't nothing wrong with liking the Fighting Irish.
Well, thank you, Rose. I have some difficulty with the cult. Listen, everybody knows I'm for the culture, right? Shout out on HWW t-shirt. New store coming out soon. I had to shut the store down. Nothing bad. All good. Just a rebrand. But people in the culture love my people dearly. They don't understand how I can like Notre Dame. They're like, it's supposed to be Miami. It's supposed to be Alabama. It's supposed to be Florida State. It's supposed to be Clemson. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
You doing just fine.
Mm.
Payback is September 2nd. I'm not wilding guy, Will Gamble. I'm keeping it a buck. Tokyo said, I'm here to bash WWE.
Me too, Tokyo. Me too.
He said, Oregon Ducks football, go Ducks.
Yo.
We're gonna be talking about the Ducks on this podcast too.
Wow.
The stretching.
Wow. You know, I never took you to be a shady individual, but that was a little breezy.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Are the Young Bucks your favorite tag team?
Matt Lopez, sorry y'all, that picture of Rikishi, tell the truth, everyone. Didn't it look a little like Conrad? First off, you ain't gonna disrespect me like that, all right? Big Keish got bread and I ain't got it. So I ain't never had my hair blonde and slicked back like that. That's probably when it was falling out when Rikishi was doing that. Knock it off. Shout out to the homie Big Rikishi though. Always a fan. Rafael De La Ghetto, aka Sick. What's good? Bash the WWE is your sense of humor, Hubs. We laughing right along with you, bro, especially me.
Quilly,
Easy E.
I appreciate you, man.
He finally changed the name. Funny man, Straight man. Y'all Martin and Lewis, Dean Cushman and Jerry Hubbard.
I'll take that as long as I'm breathing.
I don't know who Here He Goes is for.
Probably.
Don't feel some type of way, Conrad. It's how I see you two. Sean's the serious guy. You're the funny guy, but I got inspiration for y'all. That's all good.
I appreciate it, man.
Hub shut down the store, took the money, and ran.
Yeah, I took all $113 and I went on vacation.
Derek knows Michigan Wolverines, baby. I like Michigan.
My favorite college football player of all time. Yes, obviously it's a Michigan Wolverine. You got it. Come on, you got to know. The Heisman Trophy winner, cornerback.
Timeout Weber?
No, the guy who got screwed by Tom Brady, Charles Woodson.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that. Deanna, the first thing I see from you says kidding. So I don't know if you sent another message, but it did not show up.
She said, I'm here to bash everyone but and then emoji.
Uh-oh. Rob said, here we go again. What's good, Rob? What's good?
Robbie.
Tom Brady, here we go. No love for the Minutemen. I'm okay with the orange. I don't have an issue with them.
No, not the Minute. No, not the Minute. The Minutemen are University of Massachusetts, bro.
Who?
The Minutemen. Not the orange. Not the orange.
Who? That's the only minute I want to hear is Minute Maid Orange. Beat it. We don't care about Massachusetts.
No, show some respect. You're a Knick fan. Shout out to Marcus Camby. Hello.
I am not a Knick fan.
Oh, I thought you were a Knick fan.
No, they're a disappointment too. I kind of kicked them to the curb years ago.
Don't disrespect the former player of the year, Marcus Camby, former Knick.
I need John Starks back on that team or something, or new ownership before I can start cheering for them.
By the way, the team that made John Calipari famous. Do your homework, Conrad, for the love of God.
KC Classic said, I thought you were going to say Desmond Howard. Look,
Desmond Howard was great. I hope.
That's my brother, by the way. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. Streams video games. Madden.
Listen, family. I hope you're not saying that to be funny, bro. Because Desmond Howard was a beast in college. Heisman Trophy.
Big Keish has bread. CJ eats bread. Ain't no lie right there. Doug, what's good? We got people talking about Charles Woodson. You know what? I was a Sean Cocaine Kemp fan. I ain't going to lie. My man Sean Kemp was nice.
I don't like this side of you, bro. You're being very shady.
I'm not being shady. Sean Kemp was dunking on people, bro. That was my guy.
That is an alleged thing. You don't speak things factual unless you're sure. Were you there?
I was just talking about his game.
Were you there?
It's good.
No.
What? I'm just saying his game was cracked. That's it. He had the best dunks. That was my dog.
Kemp was my guy. I agree.
Yeah, until they had to start trading around Gary Payton to try to get him a ring. Remember that? Nobody remembers that stuff when they jerked around my boy Ray Allen on the Bucks.
Jerk around. Ray Allen is a slut.
Nah, Ray Allen set them up to go to the playoffs. They were like, "You're getting traded to a worse team in February." Do. Like they played him.
You know what? Do. Then Ray Allen punked out and left Boston to go to Miami like a coward.
We won't get into that.
Yeah,
here Derek goes. We're done. I don't even want to talk basketball. Bye, Derek. We're done. UNC, Tar Heels, we're done with you. I don't want to hear about no Duke.
My guy, Derek.
What up, D? All right, let's get into.
Yes, Jocelyn. I even though Conrad missed it, God bless him. I'm just calling it out. Deflategate. He's a cheater. I agree.
Who? Tom Brady?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, don't let Derek hear that. He'll start crying up in here. You don't want to hear about nothing bad about Tom Brady. And don't bring up baseball, Derek. I'm depressed. All right. Fight TV presented Impact Wrestling and New Japan, co-produced like Clash of the Podcast. Multiverse United 2, For Whom the Bell Tolls. This bad boy was on Fight. If you didn't see it, this was the card right here. We did have a countdown show, which had Joe Hendry, Yuya Uemura, Heath, the former Heath Slater, for those who didn't know, Master Wato, Rocky Romero, Hagaguchi. We had a lot of good people on here. I'm sure, listen, I'm about to give y'all the theme of this show. We're not even going to review this for too long, but the theme of the show was Impact wins.
Yes,
Impact dominated. Impact dominated a lot of this. And I was surprised by that, though. I was surprised how it was probably middle of the show when I was like, yo, is anyone paying attention to the count here? Because it ain't working.
Impact booked their own crap, and I'm not mad at them. I mean, it was a little bit one-sided, though.
Well, I feel like the favor's going to have to come back eventually. The question is when. You know?
Facts.
That's just me. But
also tolls. Oh boy.
Also on the countdown, though, we had Kenny King versus Kane Amaru for the Digital Media Championship. I think we all knew how this was going to go. It was a pretty quick match. Kenny King retains his Digital Media Championship. He's got some bigger fish to fry. He wins with the Royal Flush, as usual.
Still the stupidest name title in the entire industry.
A lot of people aren't fans of that Digital Media name.
It's stupid. Oh, well, the TV title was back when it was TV, but now digital, so now we're going to call it the digital.
Here comes Rob. Thank you, Sean. Me and my homies hate Ray Allen. Y'all bugging. Let's see here. Getting into this, Chris Sabin versus Kevin Knight versus Frankie Kazarian versus Bushi versus Yo versus Rich Swann versus Mao versus El Desperado Junior Heavyweight X Division Scramble. This was exactly what you thought it was. A mess.
Yeah.
It was, and I don't mean that in a bad way. There's just a lot of people in the ring. If you're not used to that, you're going to be like, yo, what is this? But they kind of booked it pretty well. Kept it short and sweet. In this matchup, Chris Sabin was able to win. Cradle shock on Yo. He gets the dub. I really wasn't too upset by this. This was a solid outing, though. It was fine. It looks like they're trying to set Sabin up to go up against Leo Rush once again. Once it's time, maybe. Hopefully.
That's not bad booking.
No, it's fine. And they've been trying to push the machine guns for it. So good for them. And here was my first shock of the night, Sean. Tag match. Zack Sabre Jr. representing the Mighty Don't Kneel, TMDK. He's like the leader of it now. And Shane Haste, you may recognize him from WWE. We won't even mention Retribution on here anymore. Moose and Eddie Edwards was who they faced off against. Now, Zack Sabre Jr. is the New Japan World Television Champion, Sean. How on earth did these guys get defeated? Like, they had Shane Haste take the pen. Moose and Eddie Edwards win.
like I said, like you said accurately, the booking was a little bit dicey for me. I mean, I watched WWE. I used to watch WWE, so I know all about bad booking. Um, so I give this pay per view a pass. It wasn't hard booking, but a little bit questionable. You gotta know that the world is watching, and they had the whole world watching last night. And
But Impact needed to look strong too, though. Like I said, people we talk about some of the people in the chat who say like, "Oh, Impact, Fooey." It's a mixed bag if you enjoy Impact or not. A lot of people enjoy New Japan though, and if they can work together and Impact looks strong, maybe you'll check it out.
yeah, no doubt.
Like I said, I don't think Impact's a bad show for people to watch. If you're ever bored on a Thursday, spend the dollar, go on YouTube. It's worth it. You get 4 episodes of Impact for that month. Check it out. See if you like it. Give it a month. Check out the pay-per-view. See if you enjoy it. We had a 4-way for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. That title is now held by Julia. Woo! And I know a lot of people are fans. Momo was in here. And then we have Giselle Shaw and Deonna Purrazzo. And Momo Kahogo, is the person who I'm referring to. I have to be specific on that because there are multiple people with that name. This was really good, really good. I was impressed by a lot of the things that happened. I know they had a rough spot for Giselle Shaw in here and people gave her the "you effed up" chance, but you're in Philly. What do you expect? Philly's going to Philly, so they're going to do that. Deonna Purrazzo, I thought, looked great here. And Julia seems to have the eye of a lot of promoters recently.
A lot of momentum going for her.
Yeah, Julia ends up getting the win with the Northern Lights bomb. And I was just like, pay attention to her. I feel like something's going to happen. I don't know if it's a match with maybe Mercedes. I don't know if it's a match in AEW. I don't know if it's a match in New Japan even. Mm-hmm. But she's going to have a big matchup coming up. And I think she's going to have the chance to prove, yeah, give me the bag. I'm in.
It seems like she's getting some momentum on her. It seems like they're trying to put a little bit of a machine behind her. But the next move is always the most important. So.
Right. Dowkey and Sami Callihan. This match got turned into a South Philadelphia street fight. Sami just came out, made the challenge. Dowkey just said, forget it. And once again, Sami Callihan wins this match. He does a cactus driver 97 through multiple chairs. Sami Callihan is bugging.
I love him. I love him, bro. He is must-see TV, and he deserves a shot in the big leagues. But I think he takes unnecessary risks, but sometimes, didn't Mick Foley do that? Mick Foley made a career of that.
Facts. I'm about to come back up to these comments, too, that I see in here. Here's another match. So this was the one where I definitely heard the winner, and I was like, oh, they switched it up. But then I remembered, oh, this isn't an Impact match. You had Catch 22, TJP, and Francisco Akira. If you haven't seen them, they're a pretty good junior heavyweight team versus TMDK, Robbie Eagles, and Fujita. And they went in here, and 10 minutes of a match, amazing. They definitely get the double knee strikes on Fujita to get the dub. I was impressed by this. That's all I can say. TJP and Akira have been great junior heavyweight tag team champs. Hopefully they'll get back there again, but I have no complaints about this. This is just a solid wrestling match to show off New Japan's division.
The thing about Perkins, he's been good for a long time. He was just utilized improperly, in my opinion.
It's his mouth too, though. Like some of the stuff he says, people like roll their eyes at, and then he's getting screenshots. That's what the real issue is with TJP. But in the ring, I'll always say this: TJP's a heck of a wrestler. I can't really say anything bad about him. Next up, Bullet Club versus The World, they called this one. Bullet Club had Ace Austin, Chris Bay, David Finley, Alex Coughlin, Penta, in all caps, and Clark Connors versus The World, which had PCO, Josh Alexander, Tonga Loa, Tama Tonga, the DKC, and ELP. Sounds like we're rapping, but it's all good here.
ABC, 1, 2, 3.
This match was done to establish the new version of Bullet Club with David Finley as the leader. David Finley ends up getting the dub here. This one went almost 15 minutes, I'd say. Pretty good. pretty good matchup here. Finley wins with a power bomb.
That's a talented kid. And he gets it honestly.
They don't put you in that spot unless they think you can do something.
That's a fact.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying for them. Leo Rush and Trey Miguel versus Takahashi Hiromu, for those who know him by the first name as well, and Mike Bailey. Now, this one has some storytelling in it. I'm gonna cut to the chase. Rush goes low on Takahashi. They get the win. Leo Rush and Trey Miguel get the dub. Mike Bailey just won a tournament, though, and he basically said that he was going to get a shot at Hiromu Takahashi. Leo Rush says that, a shot at the title. He said, well, aren't me and you going to fight? He starts jaw-jacking with Leo Rush, and it turns into this real, like, Mike Bailey's looking sideways. I wouldn't be surprised if there could be a little heel turn in this.
There's a little bit of a rip there. I can see it.
I can see it. But Mike Bailey, I would like to see what he does as a heel. I'm just interested in it.
There's certain people, every generation.
And I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Mike Bailey is owed a junior heavyweight title shot, the belt that Takahashi has, Hiromu. But Leo Rush has the X Division title. My apologies.
What I was going to say is every generation has a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So you have to be so careful when it comes to turning somebody heel that just doesn't have any heel quality. I have my doubts. I'm gonna throw it out there. I have my doubts. I think he's a little bit one-dimensional, and I know that's a little bit of a diss, but I'm being honest. From what I've seen of him, he looks really one-dimensional. I think his martial arts shtick is a little bit corny. And I think it's a little bit forced, if you understand what I'm saying, Conrad. I think it's a little bit forced. You know, a little bit 1, 2, 3 kid for me.
I like him a lot. I think he's put on a lot of bangers. I think that he's got something. I don't know if he would be the top guy if he went anywhere else, but I think Impact should consider making him one of the top guys.
Okay. I mean,
is that fair? That's where I am right now on him.
I would love to be proven wrong.
No Lie is a long title.
Though it doesn't happen very often.
And yes, that was the ECW arena floor. I saw you just asked that. I love it. I love it. The chat is going wild. Main event time. It was Alex Shelley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. You know it don't get no better than the Ace. One of my favorite themes also in New Japan. Go Ace! They come out and they put on a banger. They gave them almost 20 minutes. And they just let them work. They let them work. Everybody thought Shelley might only have till the next pay-per-view. Alex Shelley's out here killing it.
He is. It's like a career resurgence for him.
Yeah, he is wrestling his backside off here. Like, I can't say nothing bad.
For years, you know that. I mean, even before we started doing this show, I think the Motor City Machine Guns are two of the finest athletes in all of professional wrestling.
They're one of the best tag teams that never got their just due. And I'll even put Beer Money up there as well. I think Beer Money is severely underrated. Mm-hmm. We talk about great tag teams. And TNA was crushing it at one point in time. Like, I hope people know that. For like the tag division, LAX, you had a lot of good people in there.
Facts.
Yeah, I have no complaints about this. In the end, Air Raid Crash. For some reason, Tanahashi's still fighting and kicking out. Super kick, and then connects with the Shell Shock, and he gets the win. Alex Shelley beat Hiroshi Tanahashi. Like, do you guys know who this man is?
Exactly.
Do you know the Ace? That is a big friggin' deal for them.
That's a major win for his career. I mean, to me, his world championship fluky title reign, which I never thought it was fluky. I'm just going, a lot of the pundits said it was a fluke. He's earned it, and this solidifies it. He's a legitimate world champion, in my opinion.
I'm just laughing at some of these comments in here. I'm just trying to get through some of them. But yeah, I don't have any complaints with them. Impact's got a lot of stuff coming up. If you guys are fans, hold on, let me get that comment put down here for a second. The night of, so you're going to watch All In if you're in the mood for some more wrestling afterwards. I know we got some big wrestling heads in here. Emergence will be on. It's going to be in Toronto at the Rebel Entertainment Center. You've got Trinity versus Deonna Purrazzo. You've got Sonata versus Jake something, Subculture versus the Rascals. You got a tag title match for the Knockouts Championships. You've got Kenny King versus Johnny Swinger. Please let Johnny Swinger win just so I could laugh. You've got a lot of stuff happening. You got Time Machine and Josh Alexander teaming up against Bully Ray, Moose, Leo Rush. Brian Myers will be there too. Sorry, I missed his name. They've got a good card lined up for this show. So if you're into it, I would say check it out. I'm trying to promote Impact on here. That's all I can say. You got Victory Road coming up on September 8th in White Plains, New York, Westchester County Center. And you're also going to get the 1,000th episode of Impact Wrestling, where Team 3D will be back. What's wrong? Why are you looking like that about Team 3D? Oh, don't do this. Don't do this, Sean. Don't do
Easily the third best team in the TLC saga. Easily third best team.
Wow. I think, listen, I'm about to say something controversial to you. I think you could make an argument that they are one of the best tag teams ever.
You can say whatever you want. It doesn't make it true. Because they are not.
You go back and you watch them do that heel work back in ECW, bro. I'll never forget that night when Bubba Ray and them were going off on the mic, and I was like, yo, they got fans spitting. Like, that was old school heat right there. I was like, you are crazy.
They are 100% Hall of Famers.
The Dudley Death Drop might be one of the best tag moves.
They're a great team, but they are not, and they're not. The Dudley Boys, they're not cracking my top 7. They're not cracking my top 7. I can name 7 tag teams historically right now.
Let's go. Let's go. I want to hear it. I'm challenging people to this garbage.
Okay. And for all the people in the chat who disagree, and for you who disagree, Conrad, just you're pretty good at taking 5 seconds to think before you respond. You're good at that. All right? The Hart Foundation are better than the Dudley Boys.
An argument can be made for that. I will agree.
The Usos are better than the Dudley Boys.
And an argument can be made.
Demolition are better than the Dudley Boys.
I will also let an argument be made just based on their last run and Demolition's last run.
The Legion team are better than the Dudley Boys.
I think that they can also be said as they are the best tag team ever.
What's that, 4?
Yeah.
The New Day are better than the Dudley Boys.
Okay.
That's 5. The Hardy Boys are better than the Dudley Boys. And that's 6. And I could say Edge and Christian, but I'll be fit, because that's just easy to say Edge and Christian. And all right, that's 6. But I could come up with another one. Give me 10 seconds. Because Edge and Christian, I think, are better, but I'm not going to go there. Oh, the Harlem Heat are better than the Dudley Boys.
Okay, you put some good names up there.
So
I want to look at some accolades because the Dudley's accolades are crazy when you sit and look at them. IWGP, WWF, WCW, ECW. I mean, I guess if you want to count WCW, I know that was that.
But now that I have the list in my head fluently, undoubtedly the Hart Foundation. To me, undoubtedly Harlem Heat. The New Day. The only one on my list I think might be questionable is the New Day.
I think Harlem Heat. Well, see, Harlem Heat's good. Harlem Heat messed up too, though. Towards the end, I hated their booking. I just watched 99 WCW, so maybe this is why it's in my head. Midnight, all that. Terrible. Whoever booked that stuff.
Right. I hear you.
I'm surprised a lot of people, Six, said you were spitting until you said New Day. I don't think New Day's bad. I think New Day's a great team, but maybe it's because they're a trio.
Shout out to Rafael Delegado. If you want to take out New Day, then you have. I mean, I don't want to say it because it's so easy to go TLC. It's just so easy. But Edge and Christian are better than the Dudley Boys.
Ooh, Joel said Harlem Heat. Booker had a better singles run. I will not say that over their tag run.
I wouldn't say that. No.
I actually, I'm about to say something controversial to get into the next topic. Thank you
Let's
for transitioning to this. Edge and Christian. So when we talk about, me and Sean have had these debates over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the 6-pack. When we had all these discussions about who's the best tag team, what's the best thing. Edge and Christian are a better tag team than Edge's singles career. I think I can say that in my heart of hearts, and I don't feel any type of way about it. Now, I know someone's about to get mad at me about Edge, and I'm going to let y'all know. I do have a slight edge. I have a slight bias towards Edge because I will never forgive him for what he did to Matt Hardy and Lita. That's unforgivable. Like, I just look at him, I'm always just like, oh, I used to like you, bro. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Just... I know it takes two to tango, and maybe she was unhappy, and they were married, but that's your boy, though. You said that was your boy, and you did that to him.
Right.
So they tried, man. They tried.
I got to call out my brother McKinney, man. Oh, right on. We're thinking the same thing. No way, bro. Team 3D or the Dudley Boys are top 5 easy? No. Listen, respect you. You know, I respect you. The Hart Foundation, I'm going to go over it again. The Hart Foundation are clearly better than the Dudley Boys. I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. The Usos are better than the Dudley Boys. Okay? I'm saying it. Demolition is better than the Dudley Boys.
Let me ask this. What makes the Usos so great, though, besides tag runs? Like, honestly.
I'm asking that. What we're talking about.
No, I'm just talking about, like, don't just say, like, they're 17-time champions. What about the Usos, though, you're like, this is why they're a legendary tag team? I know they've had the great battles with the New Day.
And that's a really good question. And I'm going to say something to you I'm going to tell you right now, somebody who's educated and somebody who's smart. You're going to have to take 5 seconds. You're going to have to take 15 seconds to think about this. But when you do, and when you let it set into your brain, it's going to make sense. You ready? The Usos are the most charismatic tag team I've ever seen. The Usos are off the rails when it comes to charisma. Now, when you match up their A+ charisma with their A+ ring work, bro, the Usos are unbelievable, bro. The only reason I would not give them the nod over the Hart Foundation.
I'm laughing at E. Just ignore it. Ignore. I shouldn't have read it. I shouldn't have read it.
Yo, E, you're off the rails, bro. The only reason I'm not giving the Hart Foundation, only reason I'm not giving the Usos the edge over the Hart Foundation is because the Hart Foundation, to me, historical significance mattered, and they went up against some of the greatest tag teams to ever. When you're in the land of the Giants, and when I say the land of the Giants, I mean tag team historically, like the Rockers and the Natural Disasters and Demolition, and these teams are just historically significant. The Powers of Pain, the Hart Foundation were head and shoulders above the rest, right? So then you got to take Demolition into consideration. Before the New Day and the Usos, they were the longest reigning tag team champions forever. I don't know, man. The Dudley Boys just don't resonate with me. They were really good. They're top 10. But to me, it's like, I don't know, bro. Harlem Heat's better than the Dudley Boys, bro. I'm telling you that. Hardy Boys are better. I mean, Hardy Boys. And the Hardy Boys too, but the Harlem Heat is better than the Dudley Boys.
Sean, I might encourage you to go check that ECW stuff out. I'm telling you, bro, that stuff was really good. They were main event and pay-per-view sometimes. I just watched one from Buffalo last night. Me and Robert just chilling. We just threw it on in the background. Bro, I was watching. I'm like, the world title was in the middle of the card. And the main event was like they had like a trios match main event. And Rob Van Dam and Taz were out like before that. Like crazy.
Right.
Here we go about the Eskimo Brothers. I ain't saying nothing about that. Motor City Machine Guns are totally better than Team 3D. In those names, yes, but not over.
Look at E and look at Deanna. Back to back with bangers. D and Deanna. Come on, bro. And you're giving the nod to the Dudley Boys over those guys?
The Dudleys are great though, bro. Like they're
Ooh,
in a lot of stuff.
The Freebirds. Oh my god. The British Bulldog. Yo, the Dudley Boys might not even make top 10. Bro,
I don't know.
Bro, the problem. See, you know what the problem with these conversations that we have. The problem and also the great part, because this is what makes us awesome. I make my point so well, bro, that then it sounds like I'm dogging out the Dudley Boys. I'm not. But the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, like the Bulldogs, the Heart Foundation. Bruh, are you serious?
Hey, hold on now. Hold on. Eminem.
The Steiner. Eminem, no. Shout out to Tokyo. Eazy-E. The Steiner brothers. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You can't tell me the Steiners are not better than the Dudley Boys. Are you serious?
Think of how long the Dudleys were together
before
the turn. No, but they were a team longer than the Steiners. That's crazy to think about. You just
said the Usos shouldn't be counted because of the 7 years.
What 7 years?
Seven. No, you said 7 reigns, but you also said longevity. You said something about longevity.
No, I just said say something else besides their reigns. That's all I said with that. Yeah. People are throwing the Lucha Bros, God. All right, y'all just naming tag teams.
No, okay. I'm making an executive decision. We're staying on this for 5 more minutes because I'm scrolling up the chat myself because my people today they're my people.
Time out. Some of y'all capping right now though with some of these team names though. I'm not even about to let y'all slide with some of this.
I'm making an executive decision and we're talking about this for 5 more minutes.
Hold on.
The Hart Foundation, the New Day, the Hardy Boys, the Rockers, no, they weren't together long enough, Joel, but I feel you. Harlem Heat, definitely. And then Deanna and E were talking, spitting flames with the old school stuff. The Horsemen, the Bulldogs, the Freebirds, the Midnight, the Rock and Roll, the Steiners. Are you serious?
Hold on.
Are you serious?
Bro,
this is my.
I'm not even in.
Bro.
Yo, hold on. I just want to run down the accolades of the Dudleys real quick. All Japan Pro Wrestling World's Strongest Tag Team Determination League winners in 2005, Tag Team of the Year in 2007, Cauliflower honorees in 1997. They won the ECW tag titles 8 times. They were the Hustle Super Tag Team Champions once. They were the IWGP Tag Champions twice. They were Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Hold on. Let me get the accolades off. Match of the Year in the year 2000. Match of the Year in 2001. Tag Team of the Year in 2001 and 2009. Tag Team of the Decade from 2000 to 2009. Squared Circle Wrestling, they won the tag titles. Let's go to TNA. Bully Ray, 2-time TNA heavyweight champion. Devon, I don't even know why this is up here. I don't even remember this.
We're not doing that. We're not talking about world titles.
And fine, NWA Tag Team Champions. TNA World Tag Team Champions. They won a TNA Tag Team Tournament in 2013. Tag Team of the Year in 2005. 2014, they were in the Hall of Fame together. TNA Year-End Awards, Tag Team of the Year. We haven't even started in the WWE stuff. They were WCW Tag Champs. They were the 8-time WWF Tag Team Champs. They won all these belts a bunch of times. Oh, and I'm sorry, when they split the belts, then they had the World Tag titles as well. They get into all of this stuff on here. And they're Hall of Famers. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
Conrad, I hear you. They're a top 10 team. But what I'm telling you is that the Deannas and the E's and the Aces and the Dougs, no, Doug is playing, and the Matt and the Emleezes and the Tokyos and I'm still looking. Like, bruh, listen, I'm gonna run it down again. Yo, I hear you, McKinney. Bro, you know I respect you, but listen, man, I'm gonna run it down again and we're gonna move on, okay? I'm gonna run it down again and we're gonna move on. Just the ones that pop in my head, then I'm gonna go to the chat. Demolition, Hart Foundation, Usos. That's all I remember in Harlem Heat. If that's not enough for you, bro, I'm gonna give you more. Okay? I'm going to give you more. The New Age freaking Outlaws. The Dudley Boys are better than the New Age Outlaws?
Mm-hmm.
We're not
Sorry,
doing
I had
that.
to do it one time. Road Dogg gets that every time. I'll never forgive him for that cap he said about Bret Hart. Done.
Okay.
Don't ever want to hear Road Dogg in his opinion again.
I respect why you feel that way. I feel the same way. But for the sake of this conversation,
I love the New Age Outlaws.
The New Age Outlaws, the New Day, the Hardy. I'm just going to spit out these names real fast, and you tell me there's not 7 names that are better.
But Sean, here's what I'm saying. There are so many great tag teams that I think you can.
I'm cutting you off for 10 seconds. I'm going to let you roll. You're saying that the Dudley Boys are a top 7 team ever?
Yes.
And I'm saying no. So go ahead.
I'm just saying that there are so many good tag teams. Hart Foundation, big and small. There's a bunch of combinations as to why you could like different teams for different reasons. Demolition just smashed people. That's why we loved them. It's a different day now, but what I'm saying is there's so many great tag teams. I think anybody's top 10 list could look very different, and I'm okay with it.
I think you're being look. Once again,
here's what I want you guys to do for the rest of the week. Here's your homework, Sean. Again, I want you to go look up every tag team top 10 list, and you tell me if the Dudley Boys were on.
Out of respect for you because you're my brother, but
do you think the Dudleys are on most of them?
I don't care, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't care. No, I'm going to tell you why I don't care. I know that sounds very closed-minded. I'm going to tell you why I don't care. Because there's certain things that are just black and white, my brother. The Dudley Boys are not better than the Freebirds. They're not. The Dudley Boys are not better than the Rock and Roll Express. They're just not. The Dudley Boys are not better than the Steiner Brothers. They're just not. It's simple. You said top 7. The Dudley Boys are not better than the Usos. They are not better than the Hart Foundation. They're just not.
That is fine. We will move on. Let's move on to Edge. No, this topic is going to come back up.
Okay.
We may need a full topic time or segment to dedicate to it.
Yeah.
But Edge said, I need to wrestle in Toronto. He came out there with that Maple Leaf stuff on, side-eye, because I'm a Sabres fan. He comes out, he gets the cheer. Good for Edge. As much as I just talked all that mess about Edge and the stuff with Lita, I could go through his entire career. Edge is somebody who I think means a lot to the generation after me. Mm-hmm. I always say that's like the younger cats who they love John Cena. Edge is the #1 heel of all time. Right. Edge went away too soon. I wasn't ready for Edge to go away. I didn't expect it that night when he announced. I was like, wait, what? I was gutted when he made that announcement. He couldn't wrestle anymore. When he came back at the Rumble, goosebumps. I'm sorry. I could feel him coming up. When I heard, you think you know me, I was like, what? And he came out, bro. He was crying. The look on his face was amazing. Goosebumps. And he came out. He got to do his pose. He went ham when he got in the ring, just spearing people. He crushed it, dude. So great for Edge. Edge then ended up. The story is that him and Sheamus were talking. Sheamus was doing his YouTube series where they go and do Celtic workouts. I think is what it's called, something like that. Him and Edge were riding bikes on this trail. Edge falls and busts his rear end. I almost said it what I wanted to say. He falls, it goes down. He's got up, he was like, that wasn't so bad. I wonder if I could do a bump. And I was like, what? And he had the cuts on his back and on his leg and everything. He was like, I wonder if I could do a bump. Sheamus started helping train him. And Edge was like, I want to do a comeback. He almost went to AEW for those who didn't know. Funny how you get cleared. Let me not start that. Because
oh my God.
I'm just saying there's multiple people. They can't get cleared. You can't get cleared. Then all of a sudden, Tony Khan called. You're good to go. You're going to work for me if you're going to work for anybody.
Exactly.
Gomez McMahon. So they go out. They do their thing. Edge has been on an incredible run for the last 3 years. I'm happy for the dude. He gets the big win over Sheamus. Is this Edge's retirement? This could be a short segment, Sean. Yeah. Edge's retirement. Is it real? Is it something that you guys want to see? Does Edge have room to come back and do another run in WWE? He's not going to be at All In. I'm cutting that off right now. His contract is through September, it says. So I don't expect to see him at All In. So I just want people to keep their expectations in check. But Could Edge go to AEW? Does it make sense for him and Christian to end it together? Do they have one last match with the Hardys? Do they try? I don't think Tony Khan likes Bully Ray, but I don't know if they could do one more TLC match. Do they throw another team in there? Do they want to mix it up with FTR? What do you think of all the possibilities for Edge? And you can kind of even reflect on Edge.
Yeah, I think it's a plethora of things that you just mentioned very accurately. I think the long and short of it is, I think the answer is no. I don't think that's his last match ever. I think he will find a way to get back by WrestleMania, and I think WrestleMania will be it. I think that he's going to wrestle at WrestleMania in Philly, and I think that'll be the last time that he wrestles. I don't see him in AEW. I don't know what Christian's contract situation is in AEW, but I don't know if he'll be able to come back in time if he wanted to. But either way, I don't think Edge is going to chase his moment. I think Edge's moment is right here in WWE, and I think he's going to get it at WrestleMania. I think it'll be a retirement match, and I think it'll be great. I think it's going to be one of those things where it'll be a situation where he goes out like Ric Flair in 2008, but instead of...
Who does he give it to, though? Who gives him that retirement match? Do you see somebody right now?
I can see John Cena giving it to him. I can see John Cena figuring out how to come back for one more, and because he and Edge are so close that they can make it work. Brock Lesnar, I don't think would be appropriate. But I think, honestly, that is my prediction. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to say Edge and Cena at 40. That's my prediction. And I think that'll be it.
Vinny asked a great question. Where does Edge rank all time? I think Edge is top 20, maybe 30 even. I'd have to really sit and put people down, but I think Edge might be top 20, top 30.
Edge is top 30 without a question, without a blink of an eye. And he's borderline top 20.
Yeah, I'll agree on that. Celtic Warrior workouts. Thank you, Quills. Does Christian know if Edge is a father? I don't know. No, Christian will go ham on Edge. Edge Royal Rumble is the top ever. Yeah, that was a great moment for him.
It was a great moment.
Money in the Bank, first cash in, bro. Hands over the briefcase to Mr. McMahon, because we didn't understand how it worked at that time, but amazing. I liked what they did with that. Y'all think Edge is going to finish out his career in AEW with the coattails? Christian, chill. I don't know. I would love to see them go there, but something in my heart tells me he's too loyal to Vince. I just don't think he'll do it.
I don't think so.
I
don't think Edge. I think Edge is like one of those guys. And what I mean by Edge is like John Cena. Edge is like The Rock. They will just never do that. Like, they have such loyalty to the WWE, blind loyalty, but I don't think after all these years of Edge never appearing in any other promotion that he'll end his career in AEW. He's not the Big Show. He's not Moxley. He's not Punk. He's a WWE.
He doesn't have a reason to be jaded.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Christian has a reason to be jaded. Edge does not. Christian knocked out. Punk has a reason to be jaded. Christian, I'm trying to think. Big Show, a bunch of people, like you said, they went through some turmoil with that company. Edge was always beloved.
I think you hit the nail on the head. That's what I was looking for, and you gave it to me. They have a reason to be upset and leave. Edge does not.
Facts. Vinny says Edge feels like a WWE lifer. It'd be so hard for me to see it based on the loyalty he has. Yeah, he's been pushed, unlike Christian.
Vinny, completely.
Pro Wrestler Shoot, what's good? I saw you sneak in here. Appreciate you. Edge gear was always sick. Yeah, I always loved Edge. Even Edge in my Durango, somewhere 95. I hated that time frame for Edge. I was like, oh, get this guy. They're trying so hard and it's not working. They thought it was so cool, and I was like, it's not working, bro. But they wanted to elevate him past that IC title, and it wasn't working. And this is back when WWE's like, this ain't working. We got to think of something else. We're like, yo, turn him heel. That's when they used to do stuff where it would work. Let's look at this, though, from a different perspective for a second. I'm about to get on a little hater-ish, and this is just a side thing. I always hated Shawn Michaels and Edge when they went into the Hall of Fame. I think they did it too fast. Mm-hmm. I think Edge will go in one more time since they like to do the multiple things now. I could see him and Christian going into the Hall of Fame together.
I could see him going in 3 times.
What's the third?
Rated RKO.
I don't know about that. I never, that group always got beat. I felt like I was like, you're just there to lose the DX. I felt bad for that. I don't know. I'm an extreme hater of 05 to 07, Sean. Just always keep that in your mind a little bit. Just a lot of bad stuff. I would love another 5-second pose for the benefit of those with flash photography.
You might get that at a Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yeah. Edge has to Carmelo Hayes has to retire Edge. That'd be wild. Great way to debut. Put over Dom, he says. I wouldn't be mad at that. Edge and Ray, great tag team. They used to have bangers with Kirk and He Who We Shall Not Speak Of and Los Guerreros.
And don't forget about the very low chance, but the chance that Randy could come back.
Hold on, I gotta read this in the voices he's giving me here. From Sick. Let Edge show up in AEW. I'm laughing at the thought of the type of voice Vince could leave him on his phone. Adam, it's Vince. Call me. Did you need money or something? What's the issue? What didn't I give you? We timing out, folks, for Christian slander. He said, best Edge moment was when he won the Royal Rumble. I know you know. That's an inside joke with me and Rob.
Okay.
That kid was hurt. We were in I gotta tell the story a little bit now. We were in a Wild Wings, and this kid had on the John Cena merch. We were sitting there just, we had our chicken wings, eating the sandwich, Sean. And this kid was up there. He's like, come on, Cena, yay! Cena and Edge are the final two. Or was it Edge and him? I can't remember, but they were in the finals, getting towards the end. Edge speared Cena and tossed him over the top rope. We all jumped up. Yeah! We just saw the kid. He looked so sad. And then all of a sudden, there was like a brief pause. And I just saw Rob go, yeah! Yeah! I was just like, that was so terrible, dude.
That sounds like my kind of guy. I would heckle a Cena fan, too.
Yeah, you had to get your moment in, because trust me, I was at WrestleMania 29. This little kid, I'll never forget, tapped me on the shoulder. He had to let me know Rock lost. He was like, hey, Attitude Era guy? And I was like, we're out of here. We're out of here. It was fun, though. It was all in good fun.
Nice.
All in good fun. Chicken wings and that kid crying. Rob Zombie music over Rob Zombie movies. The Rob Zombie slander is real in this chat, especially on Wednesdays. I can see Edge asking for the blessing to go to AEW to work with his friend. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still 50-50 on it. I can't really see it. If you're asking me which side do I lean towards, I don't see him doing it. What would have made Edge's moment more special, more dope than Tony Chimel out there? Go ahead, Sean. Give it to him one time. I know you can do it.
The Rated R Superstar. Hey! Yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
The SmackDown 6, yeah, I love that. I remember being so scared thinking Edge was going to end the streak as a kid. Oh, yeah. People forget that Edge never lost at WrestleMania before that. Yep. He was in a ladder match and he got carted off, so he technically never lost until Taker beat him.
That's a fact.
I wish Taker still had the streak, man. The promos Edge could have had in AEW with MJF would be wild. Yeah, Edge could cut a good promo. Edge versus Taker, Edge versus Cena feud was epic. Edge versus CM Punk again. You never know.
You also have to remember that some of these guys, not Punk, but some of these guys could return to WWE, so it's not like it's out of the question.
I don't think that's out of the question either. I think they would do it if they knew it would hurt the other side. Now, that's where we're at with this. Like, if it hurts the other side, do it. Go ahead.
Right.
Keep your news stories, people. We're going to get into some of that here in a second. We're going to talk little All In. I'm going to get a bunch of stuff in here. Yo, chill, E. What? The match card's set, bro. What's the issue? What are you doing? You don't have to prove anything anymore, Sean. It's fine. You know it was you. It's not a big deal, bro. I know people don't like the Union Jack. I didn't make the picture. It looks pretty, though. AEW All In. Oh, by the way, hold on. Let me run through these before we get into this. Let's get into some other quick news. Yes, John Cena will be back. He's going to appear on SmackDown September 1st and at WWE Superstar Spectacle in India on September 8th. I do the eye roll again for the camera.
Who cares?
Now you sound like Derek. That's the spirit. Real quick, let's talk ticket sales for a second because I want to make this known. And I'm going to say something good about WWE here. Oh, wow. WrestleMania in Philadelphia, they have sold 90,000 tickets. So 45 and 45 for both the days. All right? That's not a small feat. That is a good thing for them to do. I want that to be on record. Good for WWE. Now, when they're shouting out these records and things, I want people to remember it is 2 nights. I hate when they do like we had more viewers on social media than the Super Bowl. Chill with that.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah. But it's just some of those weird things that they do. But just remember how they're doing the math for all of this stuff. All right, 2 nights, Philadelphia. It's going down. Is this going to be a great show? I don't know. I don't know what the matches are because with the roster they have, I feel like they need to start chopping it up a little differently. A lot of the matches are, you've done this, you've played your hand on this, give me something else. But I don't think the fans are tired of it just yet. It's going to be interesting for that, and I'm happy for them. I don't know if you have any thoughts on the WrestleMania ticket sales.
I mean, it's 2 days. I mean, don't insult my intelligence. They did well, but it's 2 days. So, like, let's be real, and that's pretty much it.
But this is also good, though, for people who said wrestling is dying, nobody wants to watch this anymore, blah, blah, blah. It seems like there's a resurgence a little bit.
It's a resurgence. People are interested, but again, don't manipulate the situation.
Now, did you see Brian Gewirt's quote today?
Yeah, I see it.
Is it so? Are we back on this again? Is this as hot as the Attitude Era?
No.
Okay. All right, I just wanted to make sure.
First of all, I've said it before and I'll say it again. WWE has one major storyline right now. One. And it's holding on by the skin of its teeth. The Attitude Era, the show was popping from the opening bell to the close. Don't even fix your lips, whoever you are, to say that it's not even close, bro. Stop.
I mean, it's different too, though. Like, it's just, I don't know, the way that they have all the stuff set up. Everybody was like on fire back then, and we haven't gotten to that point to where that translates yet on the roster scheme of things. But maybe
Val Venus versus D'Lo was popping, bro. You know what I'm saying?
SummerSlam '98. I remember.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on now, like we didn't have to wait till.
Can I get raunchy? Can I get raunchy? I need the blessing to get raunchy. I gotta say the line.
Sure.
Hello, ladies. You know the Big Valboski came to the Big Apple. I came, I saw, then I came again.
Yeah, that was a great one. We like him.
That was one of my favorite ones ever as a kid.
I've ever heard, bro. This dude was like, happy holidays. He was like, listen, ladies, my right leg is Christmas and my left leg.
All right. No.
I'm just saying, that dude was outrageous. But my point is, though, at the end of the day, everything from like opening contest to the end, this is not even close. The weekend after whatever, Money in the Bank, whatever it was, they had to keep the Bloodline on TV for 45 minutes, bro. 45 minutes the Bloodline were on television. That's how crappy WWE is.
Them ratings stayed, I bet, though.
I mean, because the Bloodline is popping, but that's the only thing they got going right now.
Hey, let me see here. Vinny said, he said Cody's storyline ain't popping. Attitude Era had Taker, Rock, Austin, Triple H, Mankind, Angle. So much star power this era only has Roman.
Exactly,
yeah. No. But Deanna said, no, it's different. Good, way more overall wrestling. That is true. Yeah, in the Attitude Era, Russo, you give Russo his credit for his storylines, but at the same token, you didn't get that. I love this. Somebody wrote, hello, ladies. Never forget Kai and Tai and Yamaguchi-san's storyline where they had to chop Val Venus. I'll never forget watching that. I was like, bro, I went to bed that night, like, turn this off.
Listen, it was corny, but even that was funny.
Yeah. They were bugging, bro. They were bugging going off TV like that. They chopped the salami or whatever. They were tripping doing that stuff back then. Attitude Era and WWF will always be the greatest era in WWE. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No debating.
That's a fact, Wills. That's a fact, Wills.
Tokyo said you don't love the Judgment Day. It's all right. It's good.
I don't love the Judgment Day. I like the Judgment Day.
Same.
Choppy.
Terrible. But all right, let's get to All In though. All In has also sold a lot of tickets. Now, listen, y'all. I always tell people, let's bring it back for a second. Let's bring it back. How many tickets were they going to sell? Man, I think 30K. I don't know. What do you say? people were talking like that, right?
Go back in the archives. How many tickets did I say they were going to sell?
People were bugging, bro. I'm just letting you know. People were talking this mess, and they did what they had to do. But I don't know.
Seriously, what did I say? How many tickets did I say they were going to sell?
I don't have a Rolodex on top with Sean's numbers. We say a lot of stuff every week.
I said 75,000. I said 75,000.
That ain't bad. And even that was a little short, surprisingly. I couldn't believe it. And this week, they, I guess, surpassed the WrestleMania numbers. They distributed 80,846 tickets per WrestleTix, surpassing WrestleMania 32, and becomes the highest attended pro wrestling show ever. Put a little cap next to that with Eric Bischoff and his, what was that show? The Collisions in Korea and all that mess. Yeah. So take that with a grain of salt, people. All right, just for the record. But they tried. They tried. All right. I mean, you're never gonna beat that number, I don't think. That was just crazy. They forced people to go to the show. They were like, school's shut down. Get down to the arena. It's going down. So that was just something different. So good for them. Let's talk All In here for a second. All right. I think, Sean, if you want, you can give predictions on this. I know we're going to do it on Wednesday, so I'll kind of bite my tongue for now. But
that's
0
cool.
hour.
Well, I'm gonna say that during the 0 hour, this is when the turn's gonna happen. I don't think that they're gonna. Well, actually, as I say that out loud, I don't know. They're not gonna win the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. They're not. It would be dope, but I don't think they will. So the turn can happen then, but it'd probably be in the main event. But either way, they're not gonna win. You know, the Aussie Open is gonna retain their titles.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know though. They did something that scares me. Anytime a tag team gets a lot of defenses in real quick, usually spells disaster for them. So I don't know. I don't know what that means, and maybe that's a little foolery for us, but we'll see what happens with it. Maybe this is how they keep them linked together without them being linked together, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
So yeah, I don't know how to feel about that one. This just got announced recently. You guys can also purchase this on Fight as well. I took some of the graphics from them. Shout out to the good people at Fight. Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. This was announced. I know how a lot of people feel about Jericho. I feel like it's a.
And you know how I feel about.
If you had to give Jericho, who's going to give Jericho his best match? I think Will Ospreay could be the guy.
Well, that's the thing, and I think. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Will Ospreay is the best wrestler in the world today, and he has to win in his home country. There's just no question about that. He has to win in his home country.
By the way, I did not like Dynamite in totality last week. I did not, and Jericho's turn was one of the things I did not like. That Jericho, we're supposed to feel sympathy for him, but he also said he was going to go with Don Callis and ditched his friends. And then I was kind of like, I really hope Will Ospreay beats him down. And I think that's going to be the same feeling when they get to that arena. Will Ospreay just named the IWGP US title. He just put the flag on it representing England. Like, people are going to cheer him. He's going to be beloved.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, this is actually, to me, this is like Will Ospreay's crowning moment.
And good for him. Good for him. Next up, this is one that I love just for the love of indie wrestling. Old school WCW fans and AEW fans have something to cheer about here. You have AR Fox, Swerve Strickland, Darby, and Sting. I think that this is a coffin match as well. Darby is undefeated in those. I don't know. I like it.
House?
Swerve's house. At the mall, Prince Nana better come out dancing too. I need it. He's the best. I always crack up watching him.
And I think they get a signature win. I think they're gonna beat them. I think Swerve and Fox are gonna win.
Really?
Yep.
Darby's challenging for the TNT title the next night, though. That's one of the matches made for All Out.
I just think I like what Swerve and I like Fox having his first big win, and I like Swerve winning on a big stage. I do.
Okay, so you're thinking this is the first time they lose the coffin match. Sting hasn't lost either. Sting's undefeated.
Yeah, I think this is it. I think they're gonna win.
Controversial one for the chat and you, Sean. Tony Khan said Sting's best run, AEW right now. I know Khan's supposed to say that. He has to say that. But do you feel that? Like, there was a great debate back and forth. Is this Sting's best work right now?
No.
Most people said clearly over WWE.
Yes.
What is his best work?
His best work is when he was in WCW. Sting's best work? Sting?
No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking you. What was his best work?
The man called Sting. We're asking what Sting's best work was?
I'm just asking what you thought. Some people were arguing TNA.
Yeah, well,
Sting's best work.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Sting's best work is WCW. He made a name for himself in WCW. He fought Ric Flair. He fought Vader. He fought everybody under the sun. The Wolfpack stuff, everything. Even though some people had debate about the Wolfpack stuff, but I mean, was that a real question?
That someone asked Tony Khan that. He said, I think his AEW run is good. But I will say, I think AEW's over a lot more things than people were trying to say.
Well, like AEW saying that Tony Khan saying that is an idiotic thing to say. It's not even close. He's barely wrestled, and he shouldn't be.
But what I'm saying is he's not going to put over WWE. You know what I mean? He's not going to be like WCW. Clearly, you know.
The comment is fine, but it's ridiculous. Sting in WCW was epic, and he'll never be able to. Come on.
I think a lot of people were saying he had bad moments in WCW too, like RoboCop. I get what some people were saying with it too, but he had a lot of great moments too. The run with 97, that whole year with Hogan, the NWO, great stuff. If you've never seen, that was the best storytelling they ever did, and they blew it.
Everything about that storyline was great except the match.
Yeah, until it was time for someone to count 3, and then they confused the ref so bad he didn't know what to do. Brother, 0 hour.
That guy is. Good God, like. I'm so embarrassed I had that man's t-shirt. What a freaking dumb kid I was.
You were a kid. Jericho versus Ospreay, WTF asked who asked for this match? Apparently Jericho must have wanted it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, come on now. Sting, WCW. Someone said NWA. Yeah, same as WCW. I count that all as one. Am I the only one feeling Swerve Keith Lee storyline could have been a banger but was handled wrong? No, I agree with that, Sick. That match should be on one of these.
I got a controversial one.
Go ahead.
Keith Lee, overrated.
Wow. I think he's really good. I don't know. Maybe do you feel that way after he came back from being sick when he was out for a while? He had like that health scare.
And he's been bothering me. I mean, thank God he's healthy, but I'm talking about strictly from a storyline perspective. From the Bearcat to AEW to the tag team stuff to going gray. I don't know what he's doing. It's very confusing.
Love it. You leave Chris Jericho alone. I see your comments in there. Let's get into this one. This one is kind of a fight of the elite version of Bullet Club versus Bullet Club Gold, and I'm sure David Finley has something to say about this. This is a hosh-posh, I don't know what word I want to use here. This is a mess of a trios match here a little bit. I mean, Kenny's team makes sense, but why would they trust Takeshita after he walked out on his other teammates? And why wouldn't you pick one of the Gun Club members? I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of all this, but what do you think? Kenny, Omega, and Ibushi versus Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Konosuke Takeshita.
This is a perfect example of what I said the AEW should not do. They should not throw together silly 6-man tags just for the sake of it. This is a silly match. It makes no sense. I don't like it. And because I don't like it, I don't care who wins.
Moving on.
It's stupid. I care about this match, though.
CM Punk versus Samoa Joe for the real World Championship. I really, even in the short time, I like this build. I like the feud. I thought that Golden Vampire move on Collision, genius. I know the GTS didn't look good because I didn't know until he did the axe handle and I was like, is that Punk? And I was like, I don't know. The axe handle looked a little off, so I don't know if he tried to do it differently, but when he did the running knee, I was like, yep, that's him. just by his movements. And then I was like, okay, GTS. And I know everybody was like, oh, terrible GTS. His mask was like coming off of his face. Like Joe was like pulling it already a little bit by accident, I think. And Punk was like, it worked out perfectly for him that it just flew off. He said, I accept. This was great. Joe choked him out last week. Great. This is going to be a banger of a match. This was a match that people would laugh at. Like, oh, it only happened in front of 1,000 fans in a bingo hall. Look at him now. 80,000 people are going to see it. That's what I'm trying to take away from this match. Is it the best match they could have done? No. You know, Sean, do your thing. Do your thing, Sean. It's not the best match they could have done. Again, Sean, thank you. It's not the best match that they could have done, but they tried. They tried. I'm okay with this. If they didn't want to do that match and you said, Conrad, give me the next booked match. I asked you all last week, if you hate the All-In card, give me your card for it. This is the match I would have booked. I would have done the same thing. I would have said it's Samoa Joe and Punk.
Samoa Joe and Punk is a very nice consolation prize. I think they're going to tear the house down.
Big shout out to Battle League in the chat saying salute y'all. Appreciate you. Let me see here. I'm just getting to some of these comments. Coda got to get to Takeshka. He mentored that boy. Kenny has tag history with both of his partners. He does. There's links to make this make sense. It's not that it doesn't make sense. It's kind of weird, though, that you have a faction and then you are teaming with someone outside of the faction. You know what I mean? And it feels like Hangman hasn't really been in the build up to any of this. I just don't like how they did the BCC stuff. Then they re-signed. And then Hangman. I wish I could take this back and kind of redo it again a little bit. E says, with Kenny as the leader of Bullet Club when Jay White took over, Jay White and Hangman feuded in New Japan 2. Yes. Punk and Joe, again, it could go either way. I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'm rocking with Paige, Omega, and Ibushi that match. Samoa Joe trying to be X Division champ again. Here y'all go. Here you go. Let's get into the women's four-way here. Do you care about this match, Sean? I know you're saying some of them you don't like. I think this was the best you could do with what you had. I think losing Jamie Hayter was a big blow to this because I felt like this was going to be a big matchup and moment for her.
I would never say I don't care about a women's match. What kind of savage do you think I am? I mean,
hold on now. Equal criticism all around.
No, I'm joking around, but I mean, I think you got to go with the hometown girl. And this, when I say hometown, I mean the home company girl. I think you got to have your pillar win this match. Honestly, that's what I think. I think Britt Baker finds a way to get it done. She hasn't been champion for a while. This is the biggest show in AEW history. She's a pillar. I think she gets it done because I do believe that she's going to be the only pillar, wink, wink, hint, hint, that's going to leave Wembley Stadium with the belt.
Interesting.
That was a nice little tease there.
It was. We got some good comments coming in here. McKinney says CM Punk and Joe's going to be a banger of the show. Pow 100. He says, whoever follows this match better work because this match has history. They both have belts, so it's going to be a de-measuring match. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, and Punk knows he's going to go out there in the middle of the card. He's not trying to get outworked. I don't see this match opening, is what I'm saying.
No.
All of the sauna boys from DDT Wrestling coming from the Golden Lovers lineage. Nice. Rafael De La Gâteau, sick. He always brings up good points. As much as he ribs me and joshes me, good points. He said, I feel this All-In card suffered due to all of the heat backstage.
Without question.
Card could have been so much if TK had we're going to substitute cojones and made them do business. Yeah. I
said it's been the problem in AEW from the start.
Tony Khan. But Sean, at this point, though, like I said, I don't think it's in him to yell at these guys. Like I said, certain things certain people can't do. I know everybody's like, be like Vince, be like if you told me the same thing, be like Vince, I can't be like Vince. I won't be like Vince. But I don't know. I think I would have handled the situation different than Tony did. But that's different personalities, different things get into it. Would Tony benefit from having a GM? And I mean this in a literal sense, like football. He's the bad guy. He's the hatchet man.
Bro, you brought this up before, and you're 100%. Yes, you made this accurate point.
But who do you put in that spot though? Who do you think is someone that's like heartless? He don't play around. I'm gonna tell you how it is. Who can he get?
It doesn't have to be a wrestling person. I don't care who it is. Bring an established. Excuse me. Sorry about this, guys. Bring an established corporate person into the to be someone who can handle business.
It's got to be someone who understands wrestling. I feel though too. You know what I mean? Like,
ideally, yes, but I'm saying at the risk of not hiring anyone, he needs to bring somebody in. Is what I'm trying to say. A wrestling guy would be ideal, but at this point, like, I mean, I don't. Who's Dana White's guy? Like, who's the owner of Bellator's guy? Bring somebody in that can ruffle some feathers and handle business.
I hear you. Doug says, and new. Talking about Saraya, it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. I love that when they used to say that. Batman is an equal opportunity crime fighter. Catwoman has caught them hands. I hope Sheeta retains. I think Saraya wins. A lot of people saying Saraya.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel. I'm caught between a couple people. I wish they booked Hangman versus ZSJ for New Japan's TV title. But Matt, you're going to run into that same problem. Why is ZSJ on this card and not insert whoever's not on the card? There's going to be a lot of people arguing. I see you, E. None of these matches are going to hold a candle to anything Mike Bailey has done. Knock it off, sir. Fatal 4-way women's title match. In my mind, this is an all-star match. Keep the title on Hikaru Shida. Do not treat her as a transitional champion. I don't care if it's in Saraya's home country.
I hear you, Will. I hear you.
I used to love when Mick Foley would say that. The fortitude.
And if you're not down with that, I got 13 words for you. How much wood for the woodchuck chuck and a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I was waiting for the cheap pop for you after you started saying it. Yeah.
SummerSlam 98, guys.
I'm good with whoever they put on the title belt on, except Saraya. She's still iffy on her wrestling. If it's just a no from me, dog. I hope Sheeta wins. You could make a pocket QB into a running one. That's just the way it is. Mark Henry or I can't see Paul White doing it. I think you have to go outside before it's anybody, because everyone's going to say someone's bias is the issue too, which seems to be another problem with all of this. Let's see here.
Mark Henry.
Who better than Stephanie McMahon? Or bring in Shane. All right, you're done, E. You're done.
Listen, I'm going to touch on that. It's not likely, right? It probably will never happen. But you want to talk about making a splash?
You can't trust a McMahon in that company at all. I don't care if Linda came to you with 100,000 and said, "Please hire me."
Yeah,
no,
you're right. You can't let a wolf into the henhouse. That's true.
Deanna said Regal would have been a perfect GM. I think Regal always wanted out. After a couple weeks, I feel like Regal was trying to get back right with Triple H once he took over. We'll see. Trust me. There's gonna be some Q4. There's gonna be something happening in WWE. Just keep your eyes peeled. The thought that it has to be someone from inside wrestling is crazy. Sports GMs aren't necessarily former players always. Not saying it has to be someone from inside wrestling, but you don't want those situations that WCW was plagued with. Remember the guy who ran Pizza Huts and all that? I can't even think of all their names right now.
He was a nice man.
Yeah, so you don't want someone like that telling you the ding dongs are about to go out and go over you.
Jim Herd was an idiot, but the problem, Jim Herd thought he knew better than Ric Flair. I mean, let's be real. So at the end of the day, he was. I need somebody. I don't need a wrestling guy. I need somebody that's there not to worry about wrestling. I don't care if your name's CM Punk. I don't care if your name's Kenny Omega. I don't care if your name is Matt and Nick. I need you to do your job, and if you don't, you're going home.
Yo, shout out to Sick. Put Hardcore Holly in that enforcer spot. I beat everyone. Well, do ya? Do ya? Oh, Bob Holly. PK is an owner, not a boss. He needs someone to handle the business of, yeah. And I think someone just has to pull him to the side and say, like, let's look at what you don't do great. You need someone to do those things for you then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Vince McMahon probably really never needed.
You can't hire me for that job because there'd be nobody left.
Whew.
I'd fire everybody, but then there'd be nobody left.
Keep Paul White off my television. Yeah, see, he knew. Yeah, Vita Scott's burner. I actually don't like Mike Bailey just messing with CJ. Terrible. I posed a question: why is Will Ospreay not so and so? Because they wanted Will Ospreay. Listen, if Tony Khan could see, there's other restrictions to all this stuff too. It's not like Will Ospreay's just allowed on the card. Tony Khan would have done Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega if he could have. Guess what? Not allowed. There's a lot of things handcuffing them at this point in time. No Bryan Danielson. You could have had a rematch with Okada. That could have been a great match too. Like, it's just bad.
Mercedes Moné needs to be on the show, even if it's just to walk out.
I don't know. Is she able to walk yet? I don't know if she's
able to walk. She wouldn't be putting out posts about being a free agent if she wasn't able to walk.
Okay, I didn't see that post, so I haven't seen anything from her since the foot.
She posted recently how she's a free agent. She can go anywhere. She's in New Japan, but she can float. She wouldn't be putting posts out there about being a free agent if she couldn't walk. That's a post that gives me the indication she could at least do an interview.
Mike Adamley, remember Spam Man. Make me the GM. The Bucks going on the bench like Brandon Cutler. What? New GM needs to be Rob Ford. I'm out. Marion Bailey available. You would say that, Veda. To Casey. Well done. Okay, let's talk about this match that was announced on Dynamite. How do you feel about this? I feel like the International Championship should be defended on an international stage, but instead we're getting a 6-on-6 Stadium Stampede match. Do the teams make sense? Yeah, I get it. I get the association with the teams. Eddie Kingston, my best friend Penta, and he was aligned with him in the beginning. You have the best friends in here, and you have the BCC as well. But we don't have a team to team up with the BCC. I don't know if this is the chance to do something where you can get a little spontaneous. Is there a surprise in here? Is it the Dark Order? What are they doing here with this, Sean? I think people will enjoy this match in the arena, though. I think they're gonna go crazy. But
if it wasn't for Eddie Kingston being in this match, I would not care about a darn soul in this match.
Has the BCC lost value to you? I know it's a totally outside question.
Yes.
Okay.
It has.
Okay.
And this is another one. This is like a throw together, man. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. It's stupid. I'm not even going to predict this match. I don't care, bro. It means nothing.
Some say House of Black, maybe. Maybe they get them involved on the card some way, shape, form. I just don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. I just think BCC's been hurt. I'd rather see Claudio in like a singles. You know what I mean? Like we could, but PAC's out too. It changed up a lot of the stuff for it. I understand. So whatever. We'll see what they end up doing with that Stadium Stampede.
Close said it best. Complete and utter chaos. That's a cool thing to see. But at the end of the day, I don't really care that much.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's going to be. What an odd match, but BCC is in it. Yeah, I mean, I guess if people are into BCC, that's the real question. And this is going to bring us to our next point. I know we're going to go a little extra here. But we got to talk. We got to talk about the Young Bucks versus FTR3. It's going to be a good time for all. I haven't stretched it a few minutes since we last talked about them. Before this match was announced, I had my fears. My fears have gone up 90%.
Exponentially.
Cash Wheeler, I guess we're going to have to find the best way to talk about this without trying to get in trouble with YouTube advertising. Cash Wheeler is in trouble for an incident that happened with a firearm, we're just going to say. And road rage. I'm Sean. I'm trying to dance around this so I don't get my video taken down. That's what this is. With road rage incidents, he got picked out apparently, and something must have happened. I don't know, but I don't know if AEW knew about this. If they didn't, bad luck, not a good time. I don't know what's happening here. But your thoughts on the situation? We don't really know enough either about this. I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to go over. All the Twitter lawyers told me that. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to go over and do the match, it sounds like. But my faith for them keeping the belts is just going further and further down, bro.
On a night that the world is going to be watching, and that would have been, not saying could have been, would have been FTR's finest moment, is now gone. I guarantee you the Young Bucks are going to win this match. I don't just promise you. I guarantee you the Young Bucks will be the new AEW Tag Team Champions because of this situation. And it's a shame. It's a damn shame. I am sad.
But Sean, before this situation even occurred, you didn't think that they were winning?
No.
New deal signed? You don't think they were like, hey, brother, listen.
No. No. I think this is going to be FTR. I think FTR and the Bucks were going to semi-main event. We're going to co-main event, and that they were going to win.
I don't believe it, bro.
It doesn't matter now because they're certainly not going to win now.
Yeah, but they avoided that third match when they had the chance to. Like I said, they could have did this before, and they were like, nah, not right now. Let's switch the belts to a random team. We don't do enough randomness. Like I can see the booking meeting. We don't do enough randomness on the show. Let's have them win. Why not? That'd be cool, right, Tony?
I feel you.
Yeah, so that's how I feel it went down with it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. FTR is definitely losing now. But
it's just sad.
You can't put the belt on Jey Uso. All right, whatever.
Jey Uso ain't got that juice like them. They're in that booking meeting like, hey, how you doing? Who needs coffee? All right, let's talk about this match.
Wow.
FTR and the Bucks will be an absolute classic once again. We all know this, but we also know the situation involving Cash. Once again, though,
Quills, it's going to be a banger, but the Bucks will come out victorious.
Here's the sad part. What if this all turns out to be for nothing? What if you find out it was all for nothing?
Well, this whole pay-per-view is for nothing.
I mean, I'm talking about, though, the logic behind the booking reason.
I get it. But I'm just saying, like, it's apropos. This pay-per-view means nothing, too.
Nothing. Listen, it's what they do. Cash.
Back-to-back pay-per-views. Don't get me started, bro.
I can't even read that. Cash Wheeler said, break yourself.
Say something else.
Tripping.
Say something else. Say something else. Shut. Say something else.
Young Bucks for the win.
One more word, and this is over. Say one more word, and this is over. Say something else.
Let me see here. Young Bucks will for the win, even though it's FTR's match to win. The arena is going to kill the crowd for this match. Ooh, McKinney's bringing up the sound, I think, is what he's referring to here. That the sound will travel up. It's hard, though, because WrestleMania does the same thing. Like, you can't really hear how loud it is unless you're there. This will make no sense. Like I said, bro, I have a video of me when the Hardy Boys returned, when they came back to WWE. No one will ever believe how loud it was in there. And I was sitting in, like, the hundreds. And I'm like, yo, this is absolutely insane right now, what's happening. The crowd's going to be all over. The crowd won't be able to keep up, and even these British fans will chant over this. Yo, wow.
Crowd wasn't that crazy when the Dudley Boys came back. Just saying.
It wasn't at Wrestle Frickin' Mania. Knock it off. And they weren't at Ring of Honor the night before against the Bucks.
Just saying.
EVP's booking themselves to win. What's new? Don't let Cash drive in England. He can't. How dare you, Matthew? He better not take oh my goodness.
Good God.
FTR wins at All In, but they lose at All Out to the Bullet Club. Ooh. I mean, that is the one like thing that they could try to mess with a little bit, that you got the 2 nights and you could be like, fooled you.
Yeah.
Got you here. I don't know if they do it. Cash Wheeler Pinky from Friday now.
Yep.
British fans will be singing and Stink is wild.
Shout out to E for remembering that.
Yeah. I've waited for back-to-back pay-per-view, or I hate the back-to-back pay-per-views. Vinny says they should have waited another month for All Out. I think Tony didn't want to break that tradition because tradition sells in pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I hold out hope for an FTR win.
You know what this is? This is all over again. This is 1991. This is me as a, holy crap, a 5-year-old kid watching Survivor Series, watching that Fugazi Hulk Hogan.
He tombstoned me on my neck, brother.
Watching Hogan lose the title just for them to say, hey, by the way, guys, I know that you asked your mother and father for all their hard-earned money to watch this pay-per-view on Thanksgiving Eve, but this is what I want you to do. I want you to go back and ask them for another $35 to watch this Tuesday in Texas.
Need more money.
Do you know what my mother said to me? My mother wanted to punch me in the face. She said, I just spent all my money on a pay-per-view and you're telling me there's another one next week? She said, you better find somebody else. And this is me, little kid. My mother is the most wonderful woman on the planet. But I should have, even at 5.5 years old, I should have known not to ask my mother for that because back-to-back pay-per-views, it's a stupid concept, bro. $50 a pop, 2 weekends in a row. What do they think this is?
That's a fact. And the only other match we know for All Out is Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro.
What a bang that's going to be. Gee, good God. You know, I
actually think that has potential to be a really good match. I think it could surprise people. The problem is you got two guys who both need wins.
Yeah, well, Miro doesn't wrestle, so it doesn't matter.
In our main events, you will have MJF, Adam Cole. Like I said, I love the story for this as well. Backstory, MJF. He was in the opening match of All In, and here he is now in the main event. Look at him now. And Adam Cole and him are going to, I think, put on a heck of a match. I truly believe it. I think they're going to do a great job.
It is still not what All In is supposed to be for a main event, but it's the best they can do. You know, blah, blah, blah. But you're still talking about Adam Cole, who's one of my favorite modern-day wrestlers, going up against MJF, who's a corny babyface, which is why he's going to turn again. But I have a little funky prediction for this.
Did you catch on Wednesday?
I did.
Okay. All right. I hope that's where you're going.
And I'm going to take it a step further. Roderick Strong's going to be involved in this match. Roderick Strong's going to determine the outcome.
No. What about the Kingdom?
I just don't. Nope. I think it's going to be a fairly one-on-one match, and I think that Roderick Strong's going to come in and try and make a difference. And I think it's going to be something that you don't expect.
They've got me, bro, because I need to beat you more than anything. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh no, don't start that.
Adam Cole's the one who's going to be turning.
So you think MJF's a babyface now, moving forward?
I don't think MJF should ever be a babyface, but I think they're going to try it, and I think it's not going to work. But I think for the sake of this pay-per-view, I think Adam Cole's going to turn, and I think he's going to win.
So what's your final breakdown?
My final breakdown is that Adam Cole is going to be the next AEW heavyweight champion of the world.
Really? And do the Kingdom and Roderick back him? Is that his new crew then?
I think this has been a setup the entire time. I don't think there's anything wrong with Roderick Strong's neck, and I think it's going to be a faction for the ages.
Okay.
I think this is going to be the Undisputed Kingdom.
Deanna says MJF retains with shenanigans and a heel turn from MJF because I expect Cole to turn. Dude, even the way he looked at the belt when it was down on the ground, just a little side turn to it, like, yes, my precious. I was like, oh, this is so good, so well done. Hey, you can't be endorsing that on here, E. Kingdom at All In, people are saying. Let's see. Quill says MJF and Adam Cole. MJF retains, but we all know we all are going to see. We are all going to watch to see who is going to turn on who first. I do believe Roderick Strong and maybe the Kingdom will be involved somehow in the decision. Okay, so he's kind of with you. Sean laid it out there, though. We'll see. I'm going to be interested to see how people are talking after this one, and then how do you get the hype for All Out to do something? Is it Punk and MJF in Chicago, or like what are you doing here then? If Punk's hanging,
MJF and Adam Cole are going to face each other in a mandatory rematch at the next pay-per-view.
Okay, so you think the Chicago fodder is just because, to me, if Punk and him are going to face off again, or Punk's going to challenge for the world title, Chicago's the place. But you're saying it's too soon to do that match right away?
Which is the whole point of it being such a poorly constructed thing, because MJF's going to get his rematch the following week.
Interesting. Well, that brings us to the conclusion of the show.
And I think this ending is very appropriate. I think it's like one of those things where it's like AEW dropped the ball. AEW has dropped the ball. This is in no way the energy that I thought that this pay-per-view would generate when we first heard about this 5 months ago. I think they've dropped the ball. I think this is a ho-hum pay-per-view on paper, and I'm very disappointed. And I think the world is going to look back on this as a big day in AEW history, but I think they're going to look back on it as a disappointment.
I want in the comment section, if you guys haven't hit the like button for me, in that comment section, I want to hear the matches that you guys would book for All In instead. Once again, I want the same restrictions. No Kenny Omega Will Ospreay. No Kenny Omega CM Punk. None of that stuff. I want to see your card with the roster that they have and how you would set it up. I would love to know. And I know a bunch of people listed certain things. I want to know your card for All In and how it would be better than the card that they have. And I'd be interested to see what people do. That goes for you too, Sean. Feel free to come back and put it in.
Oh, it's really a shame, because this was supposed to be the biggest show ever, and I mean, look at the card, bro. This is average. This is ho hum. This is full gear, bro. This is full gear.
Time out. But is this people expecting a lot though because of what AEW is always giving you?
No, people should be expecting a lot, but not the reason what you're saying. They're expecting a lot because this is the biggest show in history. They're actually tagging it. The tagline for this pay-per-view is the biggest show in wrestling history. That's what they're calling it, bro. Like, you can't do that. And then give a card like this. This card is giving full gear, bro. This is full gear with 80,000 people. This wasn't supposed to be full gear. This is supposed to be WrestleMania, bro. This is supposed to be AEW's version of WrestleMania. Like, now I'm getting fired up. I am so disappointed in them. AEW dropped the ball on this one. This card is a B card, bro. It's a B card for what's supposed to be the greatest show ever, bro. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
I look forward to seeing others' cards.
Unacceptable.
0 Hour is going to play a major factor. Roddy will be the added push, but it's Adam Cole turning at All In, baby. The card looks fine. It's going to Bang Live. What you mean? He says.
I hear you.
I believe Cole was turning on Roddy for acting so suspect. I agree with Big Hubs. I was excited at first, but this went out like a silent fire. CJ always trying to give somebody homework. Okay, Dad, whatever. I hear everybody say that they could book something better. You tell me what he was supposed to book. I just gave you the same restrictions he has. I refuse to do this, and I'm signing a new contract. Well, I really need you. If the Elite aren't here, they're the heart and soul of AEW. Boo. If you don't give CM Punk a match, like, dude, you get what I'm saying, though? Like, it's 50% of the audience pulling you one way and 50 telling you something else. What do you want from him? So now I want you to go in. I want to see these banger matches that they have, that you guys have in mind. I just want to see it. That's all that I'm asking for.
The International Championship's not even on the line.
I agree with that. I never had an issue with what you said with that. We agree, right? That should definitely be a title match. It should be Moxley and Orange.
Is there a TNT title match?
No, that's already set up for All Out. That's why they had that Battle Royal. Did you really want to see Luchasaurus wrestle? I'm just being honest here.
I would like to see Christian wrestle, or I'd like to see Christian in the building. They should have.
Maybe Christian's teaming up with BCC.
How in God? I'm done, bro. You know what? Shame on you, AEW. You let AEW. You dropped the ball because you know what? This card to me is giving Dynamite. This card to me is giving Dynamite. I said it was Full Gear. This card to me is giving Dynamite. And that's a darn shame. A darn shame. This is Conrad. They are calling it. It's not like we're just speculating, bro. They are calling it, literally calling it the biggest wrestling show in history. They're calling it that. Like, what? They dropped the ball, bro. They dropped the ball. This is going to go down as a disappointment.
We will see. We will be back next Monday, and it's probably going to be on the docket for conversations to start. Now, I know everybody's excited. We got 5 minutes until Monday Night Raw happens. Gunther versus Chad Gable is going to be on the USA Network at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get your hype machines ready. Is the Honky Tonk Man cheering for Chad Gable in his home right now, doing his little song and dance? Who knows? But
I won't be watching.
This will be the end of Clash of the Podcast for this episode. Me and Sean will be back next week. And then we've got a show to do on Thursday the 31st. Keep your calendars marked for that. It'll be on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly's channel, which is down in the description box below. You can come over, subscribe to the channel, show us some love. We're going to be talking about storylines in pro wrestling.
Yep, the horrible storylines and questionable booking in WWE. Terrible.
More on that.
Where is Dolph Ziggler, by the way? Anybody seen Dolph Ziggler?
He was on BT. We are. I got nothing.
That's terrible.
I got nothing else.
It's funny because it's true.
But listen, for myself and Sean, we are going to be out. We will be back next week for Clash of the Podcast. I'll be live on Wednesday for Dynamite. Sean, do you have something coming up this week?
Nothing coming up this week, man. The new store is coming out soon. Had to rebrand a couple of things, but it's all good. New store coming out soon. August 31st on our channel. But we'll see you before then right here on Clash of the Podcast next week.